Good morning and welcome to the Sunday celebrations here for the Centers of Spiritual Living Denver. We are a loving and prospering community here in the heart of Capitol Hill and online. We know that with everything going on, life can feel overwhelming. Here at CSL Denver, we want you to know that we are here for you. Please know that our practitioners are available for prayer work with you. Our names and phone numbers are on the website at www.cslddenver.org. Or if you have a prayer request, please email it to info@cslddenver.org. Reverend Elzia, along with all of our guest speakers, all of our practitioners, our music and service coordinators, want you to know how truly grateful we are for your online support. Thank you for watching our Sunday services, attending our online workshops and events, and providing financial support so that we can keep our virtual doors open. We love you all and know we'll be seeing you in person in the right and perfect time. And now, we'll continue to meet online until further notice. If you're interested in upcoming events and information, we send out weekly newsletters. Please go to www.cslddenver.org and sign up for our newsletters. We only send out one per week. Or send an email to info@cslddenver.org and request to be put on our mailing list. This week we are having our usual Zoom fellowship right after service. If you haven't already received an email this morning, please send an email to info@cslddenver.org to request a Zoom invitation. Please join us. We would love to say hi and catch up with you. That's it for the announcements this Sunday. Again, thank you for tuning in, and now back to our service.
Surely the presence of God is in this place. I can feel the mighty power and the grace. I can hear the brush of angel wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence God is in this place. Surely the presence of God is in this place. I can feel the mighty power and the grace. I can hear the brush of angel wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of God is in this place.
Good morning. I'm Tim Hancock, practitioner here at Center for Spiritual Living Denver, and I'd like to welcome you an hour earlier than we used to be here for our virtual service. I invite you to close your eyes for the invocation. Knowing the infinite mind and heart of God, fully present within all of its magnificent creation, is expressing through and as us now. We are the place where God shows up, the sacred instruments receiving the highest and most profound energies of love and wisdom, and radiating this consciousness of infinite possibility of true peace in our world. Each beloved expression of the divine life is also a conduit of the power of peace to heal, bless, uplift, and transform. Through our clear, dedicated, intelligent intentions, confusion is resolved into clarity, conflict into compassion, fear to faith, divisiveness to unity, and doubt into confidence. We now speak our powerful word for true and lasting peace in the world, cognizant of the field of infinite possibility that instantly accepts our new truth and is already acting upon it. The transformational power of love is working in through all world leaders as divine wisdom guides all to wise decisions and appropriate action for the greater good in all this world. There is nothing to deny this truth, for the presence of God is the only power that exists, and the underlying harmony of the universe now rises to reveal a greater truth for all. The revelation of heaven on earth is the mighty workings of the generosity of spirit through the accurate and dependable law of mind, and each of us is a means by which this miraculous activity of creative power is now unfolding. With deep gratitude for the generosity of spirit, the dependability of the law, and my confidence in the world, I release this divine intention to the creative intelligence, which is already bringing it into fruition. And so it is. And now for our reading today, we turn to Reverend Margaret Stortz, who is also a contributor of Science of Mind magazine. It's an article she came up with, Come Up to Joy. One of Ernest Holmes' favorite scholars, the English jurist of the 19th century, Thomas Troward, gives a thoughtful and pragmatic look on how to recognize and use the gifts of the Spirit. He lists some of them as identifiable characteristics that we will find familiar, such as love, life, light, power, peace, beauty, and joy. If oneness means anything, it cannot be that we are not, let me start that over. If oneness means anything, it cannot be that we are not using the spiritual gifts. It can be, though, that we are clueless about the power within us. This can get a little scary because, as Ernest Holmes tells us, we can misuse our good. Recently, one of our eminent ministers, Dr. Roger Teal, contributed to the Science of Mind magazine with an article entitled Celebrating Joy. He too recognizes that the joy is basic spirituality when he writes, when I say this life is joy, I'm saying the basic essence of life is the Spirit, and the Spirit is joy. It's celebrating itself as everything that we are, as everything around us. He also writes, a lot of human experience is suffering, not because life has set it up that way, but because we are out of alignment and we've brought into it a lot of illusions. How often have we realized that the great mistake we make is in the not knowing the depth of our spirituality and therefore not recognizing how the gifts flow to us and through us? If we think ourselves as conduits of joy, we should certainly have fun doing so. For what is fun and pleasure, if not some of the ways and means that we experience joy? Like so many great philosophers, the Sufi poet Rumi emphasizes the idea that God enjoys itself through its creation. He wrote that God created the physical universe in order to manifest himself so that the treasure of his wisdom may be revealed. He said, I was a hidden treasure. Listen, in the same way you must not let your spiritual reality be submerged, but instead must manifest your spirit in creation. Our treasures are not meant to be hidden either. When joy has free access through us, our revelations are made much easier. And from our founder, Ernest Holmes, if the philosophy of Christianity were lived, wars would cease, unhappiness would cease, economic problems would be solved, poverty would be wiped from the face of the earth, and man's inhumanity to man would be transmuted into a spirit of mutual helpfulness. Excuse me. He goes on to say, we are born to be happy, to be abundantly supplied with every good thing, to have fun in living, to consciously unite with the divine power that is around us and within us, and to grow and expand forever. And so it is. And now on to Jeff King with his selection of Howling at the Moon.
Hello again, everyone. Got a song today from a local songwriting legend named Jim Ratz. In addition to being a songwriter, Jim has recorded and produced many hundreds of CDs for musicians all throughout Colorado, including several of mine. This is a song that Sam Bush, the great bluegrass legend, recorded of Jim's some years ago. It's called Howling at the Moon. Take a little time for sunshine, take a whole lot of time for love, take time to praise and thank heaven up above. Take your life, it may come, 'cause boy, it'll be gone soon. Take a little time, howling at the moon. Somebody said, keep your eyes open, gotta keep your feet on solid ground, gotta take time, take a real good look at everything you found. Take your life, it may come, 'cause boy, it'll be gone soon. Take a little time, howling at the moon. Take a little time, sunshine, take a whole lot of time for love. Take time to praise and thank heaven up above. Gotta make it raise your voice with joy every day. Got a lot to live for, got a lot of time to stay. And so I try, keep my eyes open, gotta live my life from day to day, but it seems the life's unhappy. Just lead me astray till I saw a friend. Go down Arctic Street and take a little time for howling at the moon. Take a little time for sunshine, take a whole lot of time for love. Take time to praise and thank heaven up above. Take your life, you may come to the Lord, it'll be gone soon. Take a little time, howling at the moon. Take a little time for sunshine, take a whole lot of time for love. Take time to praise and thank heaven up above. Take your life, it may come, 'cause boy, it'll be gone soon. Take a little time for howling at the moon. Take a little time for howling at the moon. Take a little time for howling at the moon.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Centers for Spiritual Living Denver, and everyone who is love streaming today. Glad to be here with you. So let's just jump right into this, right? So we are talking about everyday wonder for this year, and this month is about joy. And today we're talking about a spoonful of humor. A spoonful of humor, and so we're talking about
fun. So I believe that a lot of the scripture, I'm going to talk about the Old Testament, the New Testament, but basically the Old Testament, there's been some misinterpretations, as we know. And the one that stands out for me is they said, and God said, let there be light. I don't know. I think that's a misinterpretation. I believe it was written or should be written, and God said, lighten up, lighten up. It's not that serious, right? Because we have been given everything that we need to thrive. Also, lighten up means to turn up your light, right? To turn up your light and not be afraid to shine your light. Now, how do we do this? With joy, with humor, right? And God said, lighten up, lighten up. One of the things that I like to talk about in terms of joy and not allowing the things around us to keep us from expressing our joy is let's not be distracted from the weapons of mass distraction. Now, what I mean by that is, yes, there are things going on in the world. Brother Tim, your prayer for peace this morning, your invocation for peace, was magnificent because that's what's necessary, right? We are to pray for peace. We're to invoke peace. We are to be peace, right? And when I say not being distracted from the weapons of mass distraction, let's not get distracted from who we are. Yes, there's a lot of stuff going on. You know, Russia is invading Ukraine, and there is stuff still going on here in the USA. We don't have to go outside of our borders to see all of the stuff that's going on, and we don't want to bury our heads in the sand and pretend that it's not there. No, instead, we want to raise our vibration. We want to raise our vibration so that when we do our prayer work, when we do our meditation work around everything that's going on, we are not doing it from this level where it's happening. We are doing it from a high vibration. And the high vibration I'm talking about right now is a high vibration of joy. A high vibration of joy. It is a wonderful thing to be in joy. One of my first affirmations as I was going through class back in the 1900s, 1999, 1998, one of the first affirmations that I wrote out in class was, I am the joy of God. I still say that. So I invite you to use that, right? I don't have an exclusive patent on that affirmation, right? So I am the joy of God. And when I kept saying, I am the joy of God, it's like, yeah, I am. Now, here's the thing about affirmations that begin with, I am. Because whenever we say, I am not talking about our personality, the personal I. I am talking about the I am that was before Abraham, the I am that has created all that there is. The I am that we're told in Exodus is the name of the infinite, the name of God, right? So whenever we say I am, we have taken on the vibration of that which has created all that there is. So with that being the case, why not be in joy? Why not have a sense of humor? A sense of humor. A spoonful of humor makes everything go right. A spoonful of humor, which is the talk title of the day, right? A spoonful of humor makes everything go right. Forget about the medicine go down. When we are vibrating at that frequency of humor, then we don't need any medicine, for humor is the medicine. Humor is, thank you, Diego. A spoonful of humor is the medicine. So as we are, see, Spirit, thank you. So as we are walking in this vibration of joy, in this vibration of humor, we are walking as, check this out, the healing presence of the divine. Remember, God said, lighten up. It's not that serious. Yes, we are experiencing all of the stuff that we are experiencing on this earth plane, as human beings, right? But we are so much more than human beings. If we are dealing with stuff from the human level, then we're going to continue to experience the stuff on earth. But as we raise our vibration, and joy is a great way of raising our vibration, as we raise our vibration, now we get to experience heaven, right? Right here on earth. So let me rephrase that. When I am experiencing life from my human, just my human consciousness, then I'm going to experience hurt. I'm going to experience pain. I'm going to experience pissosity. I'm going to experience illness. I'm going to experience lack and limitation. And all of this stuff goes on the human plane. There's no denying that. There's no denying that, right? So what we're wanting to do here is to raise our vibration and to raise it with joy, so that when we are now vibrating in our spiritual selves, because we are more than human beings, right? We are spiritual beings having a spiritual experience on the spiritual plane called earth. It just looks like we are doing it from this human plane, which is being human is a beautiful thing. Oh my God, it's wonderful. And as we are vibrating from the consciousness of spirit, as we're vibrating, living, moving, and having our being not only in the consciousness of spirit, but as the consciousness of spirit, now we get to experience a life that is filled with perfect health, wholeness, and well-being, that is filled with joy, that is filled with abundance and prosperity of all kinds, because it's not that serious. Lighten up, because the infinite intelligence has given us everything that we need. There used to be a time where I thought that life owed me. Life owes me whatever I thought, right? But here's the thing. Life owes us nothing. You know why? Because life has given us, life. Life has given us life, and then also has given us the wherewithal to thrive. So how do we raise our vibration to joy? How do we raise our vibration to being that place of humor? Check this out, right? Sense of humor. Man, we are all imbued with a sense of humor. One of the things that I recognize on Facebook, which I don't go on Facebook a lot, but one of the things that I recognize is that when there is a post that has humor to it, that post usually gets more likes than one that is a little bit more serious, right? Because when it's not to say that there's nothing wrong with the seriousness of whatever is being posted, right? But people like, the videos of the kittens and the cats and all of that, because humor is something that is innate with us. Laughter, man, take the time to laugh. Take the time to be silly. Take the time to skip. Now, I don't mean to skip work or skip school. I mean physically take time, go outside and skip, or in your house, skip around the room. Allow yourself to laugh. See, because laughter, which is directly connected to joy, which is directly connected to humor, which is directly connected to health, wholeness, and well-being. Man, being the joy of God, there's nothing like it. So once we start to vibrate and live from that purview, that it doesn't matter what shows up in our lives, because we have set the intention to be the joy of the infinite. Now, here's the powerful thing about intentions. Number one, when we intend a thing, we will tend to receive what we have intended, right? But the other thing that happens is, for example, let's stay with the intention. My affirmation, I intend to experience joy. Sometimes what may happen through that day is that we will have experience that will try to take us off of experiencing our intention of joy, right? Okay, so you want to be joy? Then be joyful in this experience that may have me going, But until I go, wait a minute, no, I am the joy of God. Now, once I become a member of that again, once I remember that, now whatever the experience is, I'm above that experience. And as it's quoted in the New Testament, Yeshua said, if I am lifted up, I will draw all others unto me. So when we raise our vibration from the end and be and live, move, and have our being in the vibration of joy, then that joy is going to lift the experience, dissolving everything else that is unlike the joy. And now we are in the frame of mind, we are in the frame of consciousness to do whatever it takes to transform, to transmute whatever is going on. Why? Because we have set the intention to be the joy. So let's not talk about just a spoonful of humor. Forget the spoon. Let's just be the humor. Let's be humorous, right? You don't think that spirit is not humorous? Man, look at the duck-billed platypus, right? It's like, and now that's a funny looking creature that is created by the infinite presence of the divine. Humor is everywhere. We just need to look for it. We just need to be able to open our eyes and see it. And we can only recognize it, we can only see it when we know that it is within us, that we are it. When was the last time you told a joke? But I'm too serious to tell a joke. I'm too old to tell a joke. Says who? Says who? What I say is, if you say so, man, there was an experience I had where I was contemplating this relationship, goes back eight years or so, right? And somebody who knew me, and I knew her, and all that good stuff. So when she began to get to know me, and she said to me, had I known you were so silly, I don't think I would have been doing this. And I'm like, well, you look at all the fun you would have missed out on, right? Well, because yes, there is a serious side to life, right? But that serious side needs us to tap into the joy of God that we are. That serious side invites us, it needs us to be that joy-filled expression of the divine. So when we start to express from that vibration of joy, that vibration of humor, now we are cleared up to be the instruments through which the divine gets to create through us. We are now cleared up to be that instrument through which the divine gets to create through us. It doesn't matter what goes on. When we are doing our prayer work, when we are doing our meditation work, when we are doing our affirmations, when we are praying for ourselves and others, let's do it from a place of joy. Again, I go back to, there's stuff going on in the world. There may be stuff, you don't even have to look at the news to go to what's happening in Ukraine. There might be stuff going on in your life right now. Who cares about the news, right? There's stuff going on in my life right now, Eugene. How are you telling me to be in joy when I can't pay my rent, when I have people who are ill that I love that are around me? I cannot be in joy. And I say to you, if you say so. When someone says, I can't be in joy, my response is, if you say so. That does not mean being in joy when things are going on, does not mean that you are ignoring what's going on. In fact, you are embracing what's going on from a place of love. See, because being in joy, having humor, is being the expression of the divine. My oldest brother made his transition a week and a half ago. And what I say is happy travels, right? And yes, there was sadness, but there was so much joy because I remember everything that he taught me. I remember I remember learning what not to do because of him, and I remembered, I'm like, Tom, thank you so much for showing me how to throw a proper left hook. Tom, thank you so much in showing me how you can still be, a joy-filled person after you stopped drinking and hadn't drank in 50 years and was still that joy-filled presence of the divine. So even when people make their transitions, we get to start looking at how all the ways that they affected us from a positive, from a affirmative way of being. See, because I truly believe that there isn't life after death. I believe that there's life after life after life. See, death is not the opposite of life. Death is the opposite of birth. Life is eternal. So in knowing that, why not have a ball? Why not have a ball? Right? So when we start processing our lives, we want to start to jump into and live from a place of joy. You say, okay, Eugene, how do I do that? First of all, we want to recognize, we want to recognize, know again that there is an infinite intelligence. Call it whatever you want to call it. Call it God, call it Allah, call it Krishna, call it Vadun, call it Olodomardi, but also remember to call it your name. Call it Eugene, call it Tim, call it Reverend Robert Brzezinski. See, because God known by any other name is still God. See, we have to remember to not separate ourselves from the divine that we are. As I like to say, God so loved the world that it turned upon itself, recreated itself, and then named itself you. So first, we want to recognize that we are that instrument, that divine intelligence, that we are the intelligence itself. The body temple is the instrument, but we are the divine intelligence itself. The second thing, and that's the second thing, is to really unify with that, embody that. Oh yeah, I am the infinite intelligence living, moving, and having its being in through this personality named Eugene. And I am here to have a ball. I am here to touch lives. I am here to laugh. I am here to sing. I am here to dance. So even in the midst of a dark experience, even in the midst of experiencing, illness or sickness or disease, recognize that the infinite intelligence is not the creator of the illness, sickness, or disease. Recognize that infinite intelligence is the creator and maintainer of perfect health, wholeness, and well-being. So that when the body temple experiences that, our consciousness is one of, okay, the body temple is going through this, right? It's like we're saying, I'm not sick, I'm having experience of illness, but I am perfect health, wholeness, and well-being. And as we affirm this, and as we do it from a place of joy, even when we have a fever of 101, but still doing it from a place of joy within ourselves, the body temple then starts to shift and to transform and transition into and raise up its vibration to the vibration of our consciousness, which is a consciousness of joy. So how do we do this? It's practice. Practice being in joy. Practice looking for ways to make you laugh. And here's the thing, right? You don't need to look for anything to make you laugh. I love laughter because all you have to do is laugh, right? There's nothing that we have to look for to make us laugh. We can just sit down and go, right? Just because. And laughter raises the vibration. Going from a spoonful of humor to being the humor. Remember, in the beginning, God said, lighten up. It's not that serious. We have been given everything that is needed and necessary for us to thrive. And then also lighten up, turn up your light, shine your light of joy. Shine your light of love. Shine your light of gifts and talents. Shine so that people may see you. And even if you have that part that says, yeah, but I'm afraid to be seen, that's okay. Walk through that fear. And it's only a false belief, right? That fear of I'm afraid to be seen, it's a false belief that we get to walk through. A spoonful of humor. Be the joy. Be the laughter of the divine. Be the sacred intelligence that creates all that there is through you. And now for this, I give great thanks. It is so good to always be with you. So now will you join me in prayer? Let's pray together. Let's pray together. Oh, infinite intelligence that not only surrounds us, but is at the very center and core of our being, I give thanks. I am grateful for this opportunity to speak this word. I am grateful to recognize first and foremost that which I call God, the infinite intelligence from which all things are created. See, I recognize that it is the nature of the one to permeate, to penetrate, and to fill the interspaces of the universe, meaning that there is no space where God is not. So recognizing and acknowledging that God is everywhere present at all times, I know that at all times, God is present right where I am. No matter where I am, I recognize that it is God living, moving, and having its being in, through, and as the I am that I am. Everywhere I go, I am God in action. Every breath that I breathe, it is God in action. Every word that I speak, it is God in action, because there is no separation. It is not the life of God separate from my life. It is the life of God revealing itself as my life. And as I know this to be the truth of my life, I know this to be the truth of each individualized expression of the one who is tuning in today, who is hearing the sound of my voice. And even those who are not tuned in today in the program or not hearing the sound of my voice, even right where they are, God is. God is. And so it is from my awareness of our oneness in God that I speak this word. I'm going to go along with the vibration of Tim Hancock and speak a word of peace. See, I know that right where everybody is in Russia and Ukraine and all around the world, there is peace. There is peace. And so we do not allow ourselves to be distracted from the weapons of mass distraction so that we are complaining about what is going on. No, we want to raise our vibration, joyfully raise our vibration to the vibration of love, knowing that right where all of that is going on, God is, peace is, love is, joy is, God is, peace is, love is, joy is. So as we dedicate our lives in this moment to being the joy of God, we are dedicating our lives in this moment to being the healing presence of the one. And for this, I give great thanks. Come on now. And so as I give thanks for this, I release my word into the magnificent divine operation of love and law, knowing that as I release my word into the law has no other choice. It cannot help itself. It must return these words unto us completely fulfilled. And so fulfilled, we now allow it to be. I call it good. I call it done. And I know that it is. And so it is. Peace and blessings.
Wow. Thank you, Eugene. I always look forward to your talks, and you did not let me down this morning.
Thank you, Jim.
All right. Now it is time for our tithing. We are so grateful and blessed for everyone's support of CSL Denver, whether it is in time, treasure, or talent, and especially during this time of change. Whether this is your first time joining us or you are a returning community participant, we want to thank you for your continued financial support of the important work we are striving to provide. Right now, there's several ways that you can make your financial contribution to the Center for Spiritual Living Denver, and the information is running along the bottom of the screen. And also, if you haven't already done so, you can shop at King Soopers and or Amazon Smile. You link up your account to Center for Spiritual Living Denver. And our center receives a percentage of all proceeds. And I just got a notification this week that my proceeds had generated something like $37 from Amazon Smile. So if everybody does that, that's pretty great. Email us if you do need more information on this option. Now, please hold your hands to your heart or hold your tithe if you've written a check and repeat with me our affirmation. This perfect gift is spirit informed, circulating and blessing all that it touches. Freely I give and joyously I receive. And so it is. And now for our announcements. Our virtual fellowship on Zoom is this morning. We would love to have you come by and join us and let us know what you're doing and how you're doing. If you did not receive the Zoom invitation this morning, please send an email to info@cslddenver.org. That's info@cslddenver.org. You mention fellowship, we'll send you an invitation right away. And to mark your calendars, we have a new workshop coming up on Sunday, March 27th. I will be facilitating the language of gratitude. And we're going to explore the spiritual and physical benefits of living in a state of gratitude. And it's going to be from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time on that day, March 27th. If you would like, please send an email to info@cslddenver.org to register and receive a Zoom invitation. And love offerings are gratefully accepted. Meanwhile, we hope you have a wonderful week and a joyous week, and affirm right here and right now that 2022 is blessed and perfect in all that it is. We love you and miss you. Please take care of yourselves, and let's close out now with I release and I let go.
There was a time in my life, thought I had to do it all for myself. Didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. I didn't know the love of God